My thing was, I said that exact thing verbatim, but I said, ask them the population of America. And you will not get. I asked one lesbian I was arguing with about illegal immigration. I said, you're not going to believe me, by the way, so get ready. I said, how many illegals do you think are in this country? Now, the left usually says 12, although it's been 12 with fucking Biden. And the right, if you're really like right, you say 30. That's the range. 12 to 30 seems to be the range. She said 70 billion.
With a B.
70 billion.
It's a big number.
Billion.
Oh, damn. Move
and
over,
my dad's
China.
a mathematician, and I said, Dad, work out for me how many people could possibly fit in America shoulder to shoulder. He spent like 20 hours on it. He was like, can I freeze leaks? I'm like, okay.
See, now that's a smart guy.
They can live on mountains. And then he calls me the next day. He's like, I've got a problem here with sky rises, because you could keep, if it was non-stop skyscrapers, but now you need farmland for food, so you're importing the food. And now if it's just skyscraper to skyscraper, coast to coast on frozen lakes and mountains, I could easily get 80 billion in there.
It goes subterranean if we have to.
So technically that
I
woman,
never even thought of that.
maybe she's right. Yeah. 70 billion. That's a baffling answer.
I've never
I can't be with someone that's that stupid.
Yeah.
I've never got the answer remotely close on any of those stuff. And then I just go, well, now you're being disingenuous. I don't care that you don't know how many illegals there are, but you brought up this discussion of immigration, and it's like me arguing with you about ballet. So why are you wasting my fucking time if you don't know who Nureyev is?
Yeah. Why even have the discussion if there's no inroad to have a productive discussion?
And I'm not learning anything. I'm getting dumber. I want to lose an argument. Like I'd love my mind
changed occasionally. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah,
like, I'm not
intelligence.
I'm not against having my mind changed. I love when it happens. Like, I won't have that stupid opinion anymore because you set me straight. Thank you. I was going through life with my fucking left blinker on this whole time. Everybody but you's laughing. You pointed it out, taught me to turn that bitch off. Now I'm smarter.
Yes,
it seems like the other people sometimes their world or reality would crumble should one piece of this mosaic of nonsense that they base their existence upon be crumbled or tarnished by facts, reality, or common sense. If any of those things happen, then it's a domino effect. It all comes raining down. And who am I really?
Yeah.
Well, kindergarten is woke. Grade school is woke. College woke. So you tell a 25-year-old that gays are murdered in Palestine, and the whole not just last year's me is garbage. My whole existence has been garbage since I was in kindergarten, and no one wants to take that on. That's terrible.
Well, they can't reconcile it because in their head everything is divided into an oppressor and oppressed paradigm, and their like core belief is like no matter what, white people bad. No matter what. Like that white people must be bad. And so then if you're like, well, actually these non-white people are doing some fucked up shit too.
Yeah.
Like
some underdogs are dicks. Sorry.
Yeah.
But there's been studies that have shown that the more when people are confronted with data that contradicts their beliefs, they become more steadfast in those beliefs. Like doomsday cults, when that day happens and the world doesn't end, they don't lose members. They gain members.
That's shocking.
And you go,
I mean, imagine if there were imagine if there were heavily funded organizations that said the world was ending for decades at a time, and they kept getting more adherents. That'd be wild. Imagine if they had like a track record of not.
I don't have that kind of imagination. I can't imagine such a thing.
We can't work with hypotheticals around here. I can't imagine.
I can't even fathom. Imagine if they said New York would be underwater in 1972.
They taught us that in kindergarten. I remember there was this thing about they were using pennies stacked on end as like a way of showing how much the oceans would rise. I was 5 and so scared because I had seen Land Before Time when all the dinosaurs get smoked. I thought that was coming for us too. They had us terrified.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
they had us
38 years ago. 33 years ago. Have they raised it all? Like
the oceans?
I always go back to my thing that beachfront property would be getting cheaper if that
would be uninsurable.
Right? It's bought by people with no future.
Like former presidents. Yeah.
Right. They're 70
Dude, I remember
old, wealthy.
like my first true terror as a young child was like watching a Fox News or CNN segment with my parents about how the world was imminently ending because when Africanized bees arrived, they were going to kill all the normal bees and there would be no food. And I still remember this graphic of them showing this horrifying red wave migrating from Africa and then showing it hit the East Coast and growing out. And I'm like, am I going to become an adult? Am I going to survive till the end game of life? Because with these Africanized bees, there's no telling. And then that ended up, I don't think that's a fear at all anymore.
No, I think I remember the Killer Bee Nightmare movie. It came out on Fox. I begged my mom to let me stay up and watch the whole thing. It started at 9 maybe and went to 11. My bedtime was probably 10. Please, I promise I'll get up. And I watched Killer Bee Nightmare. And this family is stuck in the house. Bees are getting through all the crevices and cracks. They're stuffing them through full of shit. But the little daughter, maybe 8, 10 years old, she goes into anaphylactic shock. She's fucking allergic to bees. And we've got to like make that hero run to the dad, of course, has to like wrap her up in a blanket, run to the car and like take all the bee stings and get her somewhere to help. I was so scared.
So much child abuse going on. If we're not telling them the world's going to end, we're telling them they're the wrong gender. We're telling them that Trump was going to grab their pussy. Like, we're just constantly abusing these fucking children.
Some of that might happen.
Even school,
I tape. He said it.
You put a puppy in. Imagine you put a puppy in a tiny little dog crate for 70% of the day. Puppies need to run around, and they put them in these tiny little desks. They get it. When we were young, we had 2 recesses, and then we had an hour for lunch. They're getting like no recess sometimes, and then their lunch is like half an hour to eat and half an hour to play. And then on Saturday, I'll see my youngest boy, 11, with his kid. They will destroy the house, destroy outside, make up 7 games, but on the trampoline, fucking making jumps, and it's a good 10 hours of like what you and I would consider sprinting.
Yeah.
And I go, you put these things in a little fucking box to do what? To draw? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. The same way like I was, born in early 90s, 91. And so like the first huge wave of putting kids on like Ritalin was happening when I was in grade school. Shout out to my parents for not allowing, like I had a teacher in like 2nd grade be like, Taylor's really kind of energetic and he won't stop talking during class.
This is a smart guy,
spelling bees. Yeah, you'd have been
you put this guy on amphetamines, he could have went far.
I could have been something.
He could have been something.
We'd be saluting you or like buying something with your name on it. A little
Instead,
Adderall
you tell dick jokes on a podcast.
That's fair. That's true. Maybe they were wrong.
Any way to make money. That's pretty
drugged me up. But I remember that. Like there was a friend of mine who still a close friend of mine, actually listens to this show sometimes, and he had such little appetite from being a grade schooler on meth that like he didn't grow as big as he could have. And I think he fueled me into becoming bigger because he would get in trouble, scolded by his mom if he would come home with food in his lunchbox. And so for like a solid, I think all of 2nd and 3rd grade, I ate 2 lunches every single day. I'd be like, what's on the docket today, bud? And then he'd take out his salami sandwich.
He keeps getting skinnier, so his lunches keep getting bigger and fattier.
Oh yeah, I was cooking. My body was cooking in the age of 8 and 9.
You know what they do up in Westchester where I live? They'll say to the parent, your kid's doing pretty badly. We're gonna have to fail him, and he's not gonna move forward. And they go, oh fuck, what can we do about this? Well, he's very fidgety in class. I think he might have attention deficit disorder, which we all have. And so they go, okay, if you can get that diagnosed, then I can't punish him because that's a disease. And they go, okay, great, I'll do it. So they go get a child psychologist. He says, yes, he has ADHD, whatever. And then they go, oh, he has ADHD. He needs Ritalin or Adderall. And because he has a disease, you need to take the medication for the disease. So you've just extorted this woman and forced her to make her son into a speed addict. It's amphetamine sulfate. It's meth. And you made a kid do meth because you're such a lazy cunt teacher that you want your kids to be high because you'll get better grades because they're fucking beaming. That's what they do with homework.
They've got that blitzkrieg energy.
Homework isn't in the real world. People don't bring work home, like maybe 3 times a year, but your dad doesn't like unfold his briefcase after dinner and start working on that budget report. He did that at work. So you're doing extra work because she didn't do her job. Now they're making the kids do speed. They're making them into meth heads so she'll get better test results. It's fucking child abuse. Have you done Adderall?
Oh yeah.
Like I take
in college.
Not
Yeah,
really.
a couple
I did
times.
a 5 milligram pill, like the cut one into quarters.
Yeah.
Had it at like 7 a.m. with a coffee. At like 11:30, I need half a bottle of bourbon just to get to bed.
Yeah, you need that smoothed over. I've taken I was prescribed Adderall so I can get a prescription whenever I want. That's basically how it works. And oh my God, it's great. And small doses of it are like energy and motivation personified. Like,
Oh my God.
I know somebody who takes I think our boy Dirt takes either 40 or 60 a day, milligrams a day.
Holy fuck.
So like if he ran out of pills, he could like die.
No, I think he just wants some more.
And the withdrawals are pretty bad, I heard. I did it on Joe Rogan's podcast. I had just a quarter and like 4 beers, so I'm like relaxed and a genius. And Rogan was like, I have a new best friend. So he invited me to like a MMA fight. I got front row seats. And then he, when he was in New York, he invited me to the green room at I forget the name of the place. It's on the Upper East Side.
The Comedy Cellar.
It's a tiny green room, like it's the size of my office here. And so we're almost like facing each other in a bathroom, basically. And I'm not on Adderall. And I'm just like me. So I'm like, I had a fart earlier and I was like, I thought it was a shit. But I know what wiping it wasn't. It was just like, I guess my ass was sweaty. And he's like, what is this? You're my new genius friend.
I thought you were always going to be on point, dude. Like,
Yeah, you lied. I didn't lie. I'm a friend. Look, I'm strong.
Look, I got tattoos just like you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Look at this. Upside down guy. And then
No, Adderall is
You
so
should
much
not be
energy.
giving it to kids.
I know the Nazis were on amphetamines throughout a lot of
Yeah.
the Blitzkrieg, and it makes sense. Like it's perfect for to just be able to work for days on end while
war
eating very
strategy
little.
and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just your if you're doing a job like sighting, if you're looking for the enemy or something, being able to stay awake and focused. You know when you haven't eaten breakfast and maybe you walk 20 miles that day, pop that pill and you're fucking the best you can be. That's why it's in Air Force pilots like go back. Like they've got amphetamines in there. When you crash, you're gonna pop some amphetamines, put your P226 on and go.
We probably
Yeah,
learned something from
gotta-
World War II. I bet we meth our guys up a little bit.
In World War II did, yeah. We
Yeah.
had it in the flight bags as well.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
a
If you
smart
want
move.
to get rid of 6 million people, like it takes a planning, and you got to stay awake, and you got to really.
You
We
can't be
did the
sleeping
math.
through
They
it.
have to be going around the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. no
Hitler,
sleep
the
for
rest of the
wicked.
war is going so poorly. If you could, look at a bigger picture here instead of just train schedules nonstop.
Don't get me wrong. They are running on time. That's great.
No, do not let
Branch
him
out.
see the video, everyone, of him at the Olympics. He will not like the response.
Yeah, Adolf. I'm not criticizing. Don't get me wrong. But like
shit.
this,
Yeah.
you're telegraphing a little too much, my
Yeah.
friend.
He looked like he was having a blast though, right? Like that might be the happiest we ever saw him. I've seen that one video where he's at like the eagle's nest or whatever it's called, and he's got his German Shepherd and his ladies there, and maybe Goering or somebody or Goebbels comes up and they're chatting and looking almost human. And it's like, hey, that's a good day too. But that day at the Olympics,
Ugh,
I think
it
that's
was
his
the best
best day.
race I ever saw.
Yes. Other than ours, of course,